This guy, I mean, one of the greatest of all times. There's no doubt about it. Look at his record. Look who he's beaten, right? And that only blemish is from a DQ for crying out loud. So this guy is an undefeated fighter like Khabib. So he's in that upper echelon. He is GOAT caliber status, whatever you want to call him. Okay. But if you look back at his last several fights, this guy has not been performing as a GOAT, meaning that to me, he looks like he's a kind of a declined fighter. I mean, a lot of people might say, look, he's not motivated. He's kind of been running through the division for a long time. So what's his motivation? That's why he wasn't performing at his peak. I'm not so sure about that. I don't trust my visual that I've seen in his last few fights. And if you go back looking at the guys that he's beaten, like even Reyes, Dominic Reyes in his last fight, by the way, I had a bet on Dominic Reyes around plus 400 that should have cashed. That was a coin flip type of fight, man. So, but again, let me just say this. I'm not intentionally trying to fade John Jones. If there's a matchup that I think is going to give him a problem, then I think there's some value there. And that's exactly what I thought with Reyes, and it worked out that way. Now, this is another spot. Gone, I think he's a tougher matchup than Reyes was, right? And if you look at Anthony Smith, all these guys that John Jones has beat as of late, Gane's another level, man, and he's a heavyweight. So there's a lot of question marks coming in here. Again, all of us want to see John Jones at his prime. We want to see him go in here and basically dominate and prove to the world that he's the greatest heavyweight now on the roster, right? Or in the world, because a lot of people, if Gane goes out there, here's another side issue. I'm getting off track a little bit, but a lot of people are going to think that if Gane wins this fight and Gane beat him, he's not the real champion, right? But that fight was close as well, right? Just a little tweak or two, Gane could have beat Ngannou as well. He lost that fight legitly, but it was relatively a coin flip type of fight as well. So a lot of people, the narrative is going to be, oh, Ngannou's still the true champion if he wins this fight. If Jones wins the fight, then a lot of people are going to believe he is the rightful champion, especially if he goes out there and really dominates on the ground like a lot of people think he might be able to do, right? So everything's lining up for Jones needing this win, getting the win. It's going to be great for the company, of course, because, again, he's that star, huge star, whatnot. But even if he doesn't pull this fight off, I think Gane's level of respect is going to climb. But you're always going to have that in the back of people's minds saying, hey, I mean, he lost to Ngannou. Is he the real champion? So the narrative I don't like. I think the real champion coming out of this will be the number one fighter in the world in the heavyweight division, no matter what. Ngannou chose to leave the UFC. I think the guy's a beast. I'm disappointed that he did so. But with all that being said, the winner here is going to be the number one fighter. And I think Gane has a legit shot to pull this off.